Welcome back to the Secret Turnabout, and I'm sorry for missing the last episode. We're not doing an episode last week even. I've just been very busy with uni work lately, but we're almost at the end of the semester now, so we should be able to do plenty more videos after that. There's so many fan cases I want to play, it's crazy. And last time we managed to get Aiden Gambit on the stand finally. I've literally suspected you for the past, 10 something episodes. But it's time to cross-examine him about the letter swap because, his plan is kind of stupid. At least that's the way I currently think of it. But he's come up with an equally stupid excuse that, of course, the judge is buying right now, so we are gonna press him for all he's worth before we ask the jury for all their worth, which is not much. What do you mean, unlike Redhorn? Well, I mean, come on, don't kid yourself, Red. I know your dinky little office doesn't get nearly as many cases as I do. I'll have you know that I get plenty of cases. Oh, care to explain how many you've gotten in a year? 4, thank you very much. Hey, it's not my fault. I'm helping out with magic tricks for most of the year. Why is everyone looking at me like that?
Mr. Justice, I mean, no offense what I'm about to ask next, but how do you even stay in business? When the hell is Ace Attorney 7 coming out? Take some more cases, goddamn you.
Trucy, Your Honor. Trucy. What the rights officers reliant on a teenager to make most of the income is concerning. Yet not at all surprising in the least. Hey, Trucy's a big girl. She can take care of herself.
They're all 3 of you, apparently. Ugh, well, that's something for you to work out with the IRS, I suppose.
That is, assuming you even pay your taxes. Well, Redhorn, do you pay your taxes? You remember, you're under oath.
I'm not under oath. You're the one under oath here. Hey, are you being cross-examined or am I? Yes, I suppose we should get back to the issue at hand. Did you pay your taxes in Gambit? Run! Though this matter is one I suppose we should look into at a later date. When does becoming come out accusing me of tax fraud?
If you want tax fraud, go to Emma Sky. Who's this other guy? Mighty convenient. You had another client at the same time as Steele. How come nobody's heard about this at all? We'll ask your number 1 fan, shall we? That's probably because that case is a bit further up north. A bit further up north? Yeah, I took a case in that area too. The Gambit style defense isn't something limited to just one jurisdiction, you.
Your Honor, he is not licensed to practice law here, and this is not New Jersey.
Now that I think about it, didn't I hear something about that just the other day? The fact that he ain't from around here. By all accounts, Gambit should really not be sticking his nose into our courts. I haven't to do this voice in a while. Can you explain what you mean by that? I mean, I haven't had to do this shitty Scottish accent for like a couple of episodes now. Gambit isn't from this jurisdiction. He shouldn't be taking cases here. That's right. Gambit is from further up north. Mr. Gambit, this is not your normal jurisdiction. Am I right? So you heard about that, huh? Yeah, it's true. My office is actually located much further up north.
How far up north are you? Where about? Because I live quite far up north myself.
And not that far, Your Honor. I practice in New Jersey.
Still, you took Mr. Steele's case, you know it's not your jurisdiction.
This is my first rodeo down here. I knew what I was getting into. You see, I was actually... never mind, I'm not going to tell you my backstory. Why would you choose to take 2 cases from 2 different jurisdictions? Is there any law saying I can't?
Yes, the law of common sense.
You've messed around in other jurisdictions before, have you not, Mr. Edgeworth? Typically with their permission. Yeah, but you're a prosecutor, you work for the state. You're not exactly a free spirit like I am. You still have not answered my initial question, Mr. Gambit. And I don't have to, it's none of your concern. You can't prove how these cases connect to the one at hand, can you? Damn, he's not budging on this point. What should I do? Should I raise an objection? To what exactly? The fact that he's not answering? I feel that the point that these 2 cases are from different jurisdictions to be important. I demand it be added to your testimony, Mr. Gambit. You feel it's important. Come on, Redhorn, at least say it with some confidence.
Regardless, the request has been made. If you would, Mr. Gambit.
Fine, fine. Whatever you want, Your Honor. So what if the cases were from different jurisdictions? My reasons are my own. Well, let's take a look at the initial blackmail letter then. It doesn't say anything about where it came from, so... Messing around with other jurisdictions is hardly worthy of a so what. Hey, it's as I said, I'm a free spirit. I go where the wind takes me. I'm a defense attorney, dude. I'm supposed to help people. Why should I let when my job ends be determined by some arbitrary boundary? Gee, when you put it like that, I guess the police shouldn't respect jurisdiction either. Give me a break with this faux philosophical garbage. Meddling in jurisdictions that are not your own makes your intentions seem questionable. That you refuse to give us an answer why you do so does not help your case. I'll be honest, I don't really think that's even the most anywhere near the most suspicious thing about this guy. Oh, come on, there's no need to be such a doubter. I mean, I saw you in that first part of the trial and you look completely different. Oh, I just changed sprites, you know. You know how it is. Is it really so hard to believe I'm just a guy who likes helping people out? Quite frankly, yes. I mean, I guess you failed to help people out because, you know, you lost the case. As I said, I don't work for the state. I don't need to be bound by your limitations. And any limitation I don't need to follow is one I won't let myself be constrained by. If it means being wherever I can to help, I just gotta take the leap. So in other words, the ends justify the means? What does he have to do with any of this? Hey, if you want to phrase him in such a downer way, be my guess. Though, way to speak like one of those dark age of the law fearmongers, buddy. Just because you intend to ignore the problems we face doesn't mean I intend to. Yeah, I don't really buy that whole crap anyways. I mean, weren't you literally mentored by an evidence forger? Still, it's a bit of a leap to go from me not following jurisdictions to saying I'm in the same league as guys like Phoenix Wright or Corey Rupture. Again, Mr. Wright was proven innocent. I mean, he did give me that forged Ace of Spades that one time, but we don't talk about that. You guys are just gonna have to trust that my reasons are genuine. After all, it's not like you have proof to the contrary. I hate to admit it, but he's got me there.
Well, I do not approve of how the witness interferes in the affairs of other jurisdictions. For some reason, I must concur that there is no proof he's doing so for nefarious reasons. For some reason.
But that's just because we don't know what he's actually up to. I wonder perhaps, is there someone here who can shed some light on what he's doing? Ask the jury! Oh, sorry. Got a really bad cough. That seems a bit convenient, doesn't it? Convenient? What are you talking about? Well, you just so happen to get two clients back to back who are both being blackmailed. You don't find it a bit too perfectly timed? Perfectly timed how? Because two people having their lives ruined by blackmail? Please explain to me how in the world that's perfect at all.
He's got you there, Mr. Justice.
That's not what I meant, and you know it, Mr. Gambit. Well, people get blackmailed all the time, Red Horn. It's sad, but it's true. Maybe so, but lawyers mixing up evidence between different cases is not. You really are the competent lawyer you claim to be. You should have noticed the mistake. Look at me, dude. Do I look confident? Competent? Okay, first of all, ouch. Second of all, what? I'm not allowed to make one small mistake. I'm only human. You know, small mistake lets you presenting the wrong piece of evidence to the trial, which in turn lets you claiming Jonathan Seething as the true culprit. Yeah, I mean, what does this one say again? I know it's just a mistake. I would hardly call it small, as you claim. Yeah, it's all a matter of perspective, I guess. Is it really? I'm not so sure. Is it really possible that Gambit mixing up the letters was just an accident? Maybe it's possible. I hate to admit it, but I don't know if I can say with evidence he's lying. Maybe should just let him continue his testimony for the time being. I have a feeling I might have to come back to this later, but I'll check what it says anyway. It's simply inconceivable that getting the letters mixed up was just a mistake. Come on, why is everything I'm gonna do be some sort of conspiracy? Are you really that desperate that you'll make anyone out to be the villain? No, just you in particular. Isn't just a desperate tactic on your character, Mr. Gambit? I have evidence to back up my words.
Very well, Mr. Justice, let us see this evidence. All proves that Mr. Gambit could not have mixed up the letters by accident.
I guess the fact that that one says Steel on it, right? And the other one doesn't.
Steele's blackmail letter.
Mr. Gambit wants to claim that he somehow got the two letters mixed up. However, if he was actually paying any attention, he should have immediately noticed his mistake. If you read the letter, you'll see why.
Alright, let's see here. I hope I don't need my glasses. Steele! It's all over, I need a little secret. Yada yada yada. Ugh, boring. Hey, wait a minute!
I see you've noticed it, Your Honor. It's simply impossible that anyone could have gotten these two letters mixed up unless they're a complete fucking dunce, stupid, nincompoop, dumb head, moron. You're just using any excuse to insult me now, aren't you? Yeah. Not when this one lists Manny Steele as the recipient at the very top.
Order! Order!
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen of the court. Anyone with even the most basic knowledge of literacy will be able to catch their mistake. Actually, I can't read, dude. How the hell did you become a lawyer? I don't know, I just winged it, I guess. After all, all you need to do is read the very first line. Surely you're not suggesting you're illiterate now, are you, Aiden Gambit? Huh? What do you know? Now what's his excuse? I'll admit you two stumped me good on this one. Alright, I'll confess. What? Really? You admit you swapped the letters out on purpose then? Ha! Nice try, Red. Thought you had me, huh? What? You still won't give up? Nah, I confess that I may need a bit of an ego check here. Because, see, the truth is, I didn't actually read the letters at all too well. Are you serious? Nah, I'm being dead straight with you, Red Horn. See, I actually have a really bad habit of just kind of skimming over stuff when I read. I guess I just didn't pay well enough attention. To just skim over such an important detail is so improbable. That's your first mistake, Apollo. You should have said impossible, not improbable. But not impossible, right? Come on, even you have to admit it could happen. And if it could happen, it did happen. Damn it, how did he manage to weasel out of that one? At the very least, I managed to stretch from doubt on his credibility as a witness. You can't keep arguing conveniences forever. I have to keep chipping away. You just need a better way to file evidence. That's downplaying the situation a bit, don't you think? Ah, come on, lighten up a little. Sure, right now it's a really embarrassing blunder on my end. But I'm sure we'll look back on this and laugh about it in the future. Yeah, I'm sure Steele will be laughing about it plenty in jail. If you really are the competent lawyer that you claim to be, why was it not correctly filed? Once again, I'm a busy man. Sometimes mistakes happen. That does not adequately answer the question, Mr. Gambit. Hey, what do you want from me? That's about the best I can explain it. How else can I really describe it other than I just had a brain fart? Well, this brain fart risks the safety of your client. You need to be disbarred right away. Surely, you must have known better than to make a mistake as big as this. Objection! If I were you, I would be cutting your salary really harshly right now. Hey, Redhorn, are you trying to suggest something? Maybe something along the lines of how this wasn't really a mistake on my part? You mean the thing I've been saying this whole time? And thinking for like the past 10 episodes? Yeah, don't be too surprised. You forget I'm a lawyer too. I know how you operate. But you gotta be careful. I know you don't have the evidence to back that up. The other thing that stopped you from outright saying it. You gotta be more careful. It's coming from the guy who accidentally mixed up the evidence for his cases. Campus testimony is pretty vague about the details overall. I doubt that's an accident. He knows the story's bogus. Clearly, he doesn't want us thinking too hard about what it is he's telling us. But that's my job. If the story's fake, all I need to do is start digging deeper into his tale. At some point, he'll run out of excuses. His lies will get so ridiculous, nobody will believe him. When that happens, I can begin my counterattack. But first, it's jury time. Your Honor, jury time.
Mr. Wright.
Sure thing, Your Honor. Jury time? You get a lot of requests. How many exactly? He's had 6 trials in the past month alone. He's so cool. 6 in a month? What can I say? I like to keep busy. Of course, they don't all go to trial. Most of them take a plea bargain. Taking those ones into account, it'd be more accurate to say I take on around 14 cases a month. Oh, don't mind me, I'm totally not seething with jealousy at all.
It's quite the Herculean task you've given yourself, boy. How do you do it?
Well, you see, trials for some reason only end in like a couple of days in this world. It's actually quite easy. Well, it's important to keep trial scheduling into account, of course. If you take on multiple cases at the same time, you want to make sure there's no conflicts there. Even then, when everything works out, it'll be a picnic. One time I had 3 trials back to back on the same day. Jeez, that sounds like a nightmare. Well, that's only the worst case scenario. As I said, most of them take plea deals. That's not exactly my favourite part. I want to prove as many people innocent as possible. But most of them just give up before the trials even started. It's just sad is what it is. However, an attorney must respect the client's wishes no matter what.
Indeed, so many attorneys forget that fact, and only have their own interests at heart.
That's something I sadly have experience with. Still, some of my clients do let me defend them in court. The thrill of fighting against the impossible odds, I never get enough of it. No matter what, I'll always see a case through to the end. Oh, Aiden! Oh. Gag me with a spoon.
In any case, let's return to the cross-examination. How exactly did you end up in the situation you're in now, Mr. Gambit?
Your Honor, I would like to hear what the jury thinks about this statement.
Oh, you would you? Is that what you want?
Is that what you want, Apollo? You want these guys to spill the beans? Well, go ahead.
What, another case? Don't you know how to say no?
What can I say? This isn't the Gambit style. The guy was desperate for help. I wasn't just going to abandon him. See, Aiden is so kind and thoughtful towards his clients. Oh,
I'm gonna vomit if she keeps doing that.
but wait, we haven't heard anything about what this other case even is. Just what exactly are the details of this other case you took?
That's a good point.
Juror 5 is right. What exactly are the details of this other case?
That's classified.
Hey man, I can't just give out details of a completely separate case like that.
Mr. Gambit, you're under oath to tell the whole truth.
Nah, I'm actually lying to you. You really can't be serious, Redhorn. You have no proof that the other case is connected to the murder of Rupture. You know, other than that blackmail letter that I presented. You don't have any proof that the larceny case is connected to the murder either. You know, apart from other proof. So I'm under no obligation to give you any details about the case, got it? I'm just has fun to clear up some details. I need to go into some unrelated issue.
Come on, that's so unfair. I thought I just happened to take on another case is super shady.
But I can't prove it's related if I can't learn any details. Perhaps it's not Mr. Gambit you should be asking these questions too, Mr. Justice. What is he talking about? Could there not be someone else here who should be privy to the knowledge? And what this other case should be about?
Oh, he's right. Juror 4, it's time for your input.
Me?
You're Aiden Gambit's biggest fan. You've been to every one of his trials. Surely you've heard the details of this other case of his.
Huh? Well, about that.
What's their problem?
I don't think I can help you with that. I haven't heard anything about this other case.
What? But isn't she Gambit's biggest fan?
Something is adding up. I should choose my next move carefully. Do I have enough information to raise an objection? I think I do, because I pressed that thing earlier and it was like, I'm going to keep chipping away.
Even Aiden Gambit's biggest fan doesn't know any information about the supposed second case. I have my doubts the second case even exists at all.
What, is that really your argument, Redhorn? I gotta admit I'm disappointed if this is all you've got.
But Juror 4 makes an effort to attend all your trials.
Come on, be real. You think that's gonna hold up? You should know it won't. What, you think she can just show up to every trial I've ever had? Please. I'm a busy man. It's not like she can be everywhere all at once.
But that's...
There's no reason to dispute this point now, Mr. Justice. We don't know enough about how Juror 4 goes about attending Mr. Gambit's trials. For any argument against Mr. Gambit's claims to hold water.
He's right. I don't have that kind of info yet. For all I know, Gambit's right. Maybe she just didn't hear about it.
Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I can't let you make such wild accusations without any proof. Does this penalty be a lesson not to do this again?
Ugh. Gotta put me 206 like that. Need to gather more info before I tackle this question head on.
So what if I say nothing?
No, I don't think now is a good time to go on the offensive. For now, I just focus on poking around at the other points of his testimony.
No, then, Mr. Gambit, please continue your testimony.
Your Honor, I think you know where this is going, so let's just go ahead.
Bah, so reckless! Just throwing caution to the wind like that!
Surely you must see how that recklessness could lead to complications for both cases!
Whatever. Life is complicated sometimes.
But seems a bit like you're underplaying it to me. Surely you must see just how risky taking on two cases at once must be, Mr. Gambit.
Well, most life with a little bit of risk, right? Sometimes you just gotta take the plunge. True words to live by. Ooh. I don't know, I kind of see that point. It seems more like just a bit of risk. What if both trials just happen to take place at the same time? That would be awful. Thankfully the chances of that happening are pretty rare. It's usually pretty easy to work things out with a judge on when a good time for the trial is. I trusted that the judges would make sure I'd be given plenty of hours to get to my next trial. I have a worst case scenario, I could just ask for the trial to be delayed. Wait, you can actually do that?
There would need to be a legitimate reason for why the trial would need to be delayed. But yes, such a thing would be possible.
Thankfully I didn't need it. The trial was set on the day after Steele's final trial. It's not too often that they wait that can be long for a trial, but I guess the judge wasn't ready yet. That all seems a bit too convenient. Like he's just making up the details. Unfortunately, I can't actually disprove anything about what he's saying. Very well, Mr. Gambit, please continue your testimony. Sure thing, Red Horn. Why are you making weird noises?
Messing around in other jurisdictions. I'm worried about the example this might set. What if other lawyers follow your example and stop meddling in other jurisdictions' affairs?
Well, the reasons would be their own for that, too. I don't think we have to worry about that, though. I'm pretty unique as far as lawyers go. Did you seriously just unironically claim, I'm not like other lawyers? Okay, but why do you want to stick your nose into this area's business anyways? I mean, you really should have no reason to want to come down and take cases here. As I said, my reasons are my own, aren't they? Is it not enough to believe that I'm just a wandering hero, helping those in need? Well, I mean, it's not like there's any reason to believe otherwise. See, and this is why he's the best of all time. It doesn't matter if you're from a different jurisdiction, he'll come to your rescue anyways. So trying to keep up with two different jurisdictions, just his trials can be tough. Yeah, I'll bet. That sounds like a nightmare. Hey, wait a minute. I didn't even think about that. Juror 4 would have better knowledge of this than I do. After all, she'd have to keep track of the trials in both jurisdictions with 10 Gambits. Juror 4, how long have you been keeping track of Aiden Gambit's trials? Me? Oh, well, that's a bit of an embarrassing story. Judging what you say, if that's what you're worried about. Well, I will, but I probably shouldn't say that out loud. Well, a little after I moved here and became a court clerk, I noticed a name pop up in some case files. It was Aiden. I was so surprised to see it, since I didn't know he was taking cases here. That's a rather odd way of wording it. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that you already knew who he was by that point in time. Oh, well yeah, that's right, because I totally did. Truth be told, I was actually a client of his at one point. And that's the suppose I didn't see coming. What was the case he helped you with? Well, I was working as an intern at a large tech company up north. I got accused of stealing funds from the company, and I was charged with, embezzlement. But Hayden stepped in and took my case, and he proved someone else was the culprit. Anyways, I decided to move away from that spot, and came down to live here. And you became a clerk at this courthouse and noticed Aiden Gambit was taking cases here. Yes, but I decided to watch this one, and it all came back to me just how dreamy he is. Well, that explains why she has such a strong attachment to Gambit. Still wish she would ease up on the fangirl shtick though. I have one more question, Juror 4. The man who had been embezzling from your previous employer, was he found to have any connections to any politicians, perhaps? Now that you mention it, they did mention that they suspected he might be buddies with one. However, the police weren't able to prove any connection at all. Interesting. What is this from the file, right? Philosophy and assassin behind us, proven known to have links to a famous politician. Died in a car accident, 2 months after trial. Foul play was suspected in the accident, but no evidence was found of this. What was that all about? Does Edgeworth know something I don't? Still, for the sounds of it, Juror 4 used to live in the same jurisdiction as Aiden Gambit. I wonder if that information will be important somehow. Your Honor, I I would like to hear.
What the jury thinks about the statement? Sure.
Okay.
How can one guy be so careless? Are you really so lackadaisical with your evidence file and you make such amateur mistakes?
Well, I can see someone has been reading their pocket thesaurus. He's brash and pretentious, but his point is sound. That's not just an average mistake. It really speaks to your ability as a lawyer that you could even mess this up so badly. Excuse me? You take that back. Aiden is a great lawyer. Don't insult his ability just because he made one mistake. Apologize right now.
And who are you calling pretentious? Just because I use a big word. Huh? Are you scared of big words? Is your brain too small for anything but the most elementary language?
Well, come on. Mr. Wright, they're ganging up on me.
You should become a lawyer at this rate.
Guys, calm down. We don't need to be bullies here. Besides, nothing she said was wrong. Making this kind of mistake hurts Mr. Gamba's reputation. And the other guy is kind of pretentious.
What did you say? Indeed, it reflects poorly on Mr. Gamba's character and competence.
Yeah, I get it. You don't have to keep drilling it in. A bad lawyer and a bad person for letting this happen. Is that what you want to hear? Well, not exactly. Though I wouldn't mind you saying it a few more times. I mean, the second part is definitely true, because, like, you're a murderer, dude. Look, I don't like admitting to being this careless. I think that's pretty obvious. At the same time, however, you have to admit there's one thing you can't argue.
And what would that be exactly?
Well, with how much damage this will do to my reputation and my business. It also proves that my hands are clean.
I'm afraid I don't quite understand. Why you emphasizing that your hands are clean? You know, it's almost like you're trying to. It's almost like you're trying not to say that your hands are dirty. You know, you got blood on your hands.
Making this mistake has called into question my character and competence. When it all sucks, it also shows in a weird sort of way that you can trust my words. After all, why did I implode my career into the ground on purpose, right? Except if I wanted to get away with murder. Well, that does make a lot of sense. There's no way you'd do this on purpose. Unless, of course, you had a proper motive for doing so.
Well, that clears up one thing she said, but what about the other thing? She still called me brash and pretentious.
I repeat, nothing you said was wrong.
Hey!
So let's assume Mr. Wright's trolling being used on anyone other than me for a change. Your Honor?
What? Are you not going to finish the sentence?
Oh, okay, I know you're just doing jury again. Is that really all there is to it? Just some poorly filed evidence? To think the real answer could be so simple. Hey, what can I say? Simple's the best, sometimes.
I was so sure about that. If this really is a true explanation behind the mix-up. But I'll be frank, it makes you look quite foolish.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's any way to avoid that now, huh? Mistake's already been made, nothing can do about that now. My new option is to fess up and admit I flew too close to the sun. This is true, couldn't Steele claim ineffective assistance of counsel? Yeah, he could absolutely file for a motion like that. Though something tells me he won't be doing that anytime soon.
Why? Because he confessed?
Bingo. Maybe he has every right to complain and I screwed the pooch and ruined his case. And hell, that might even improve his chances of getting off the hook completely. But I really think he's had a change of heart. If he wants to confess, I won't stop him. A lawyer has to fulfill his client's wishes. If he wants to come clean, so be it. You don't have to look so happy about that, dude. It's no skin off my back.
Well, isn't that convenient? Still confessing means he doesn't face any consequences.
Just another reason to be suspicious of this phony testimony. Gambit's testimony is pretty vague about the details overall. This is stuff I've already said. I think this is where we did this last time. Is it this one? Da 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 da. We are warping through space and time. Oh. Was it this one? Now, I might just have enough evidence to raise an objection. Even Ingambit's biggest fan doesn't know any information about the supposed second case, and I doubt the second case even exists at all. What, is that really your argument, Anton? I'm going to admit I'm disappointed with all you've got, but your fault makes an effort to attend all your trials. That's where you're wrong, Ian Gambit. Excuse me. Jurfor is more than just a fan of yours, Aiden Gambit. She's actually a former client. She used to live in the same jurisdiction that you do. She would know to keep an eye on any cases happening in that jurisdiction, especially cases with you as your defense attorney. I think it's reasonable to assume she'd know about all the cases involving you. Unless you want to claim this case takes place in a third jurisdiction we didn't know about. Oh, good idea. Yeah, it did actually. It's not a bad argument, my Torn.
So then, are you admitting this, the defense's claims is true?
Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say I made it up. I was thinking Red Hole may have something of a leg to stand on. So you're still sticking by your story then? I mean, hey, it's still possible that she just missed this one. But I'll give it to you. It is a bit weird she wasn't on her game this time. I'm sorry, Aiden. I didn't mean to slack off. I'm a fraud. A fraud! Oh, give me a break. You're still gonna confess his love, Jurfor. Still, at least his soul has no love within it. He is but a void of darkness. He is the abyss. I'm just a dude who murdered a guy. Forget I said the last part. And I switched some blackmail letters around too for some reason. So I managed to throw some doubt in his testimony.
That's enough! I see no reason to further sorry. This court has heard plenty about this matter. And quite frankly, I have my doubts about the credibility of this testimony.
I've done it. I've raised sufficient doubt about his version of events. Now his testimony should crumble like a house of cards.
To be blunt, Mr. Gambit, the more you try to explain how this accident of yours happened, the harder and harder it is to believe it's true. If I had one word to describe it, I'd say it feels rather contrived.
Your Honor, you're supposed to buy my story. Come on. You don't need proof, right? Indeed, it's a storyline with so many unlikely coincidences that you can't explain. First, you just so happen to get two cases at the same time, where both defendants were being blackmailed by some mysterious third party. Second, that your biggest fan somehow didn't know about this case you took on. Third, that you didn't read the letters very well and managed to get them mixed up. And fourth, that this other case is somehow not at all related to the larceny case, which acts as a convenient excuse for why you don't have to give details about it.
All these coincidences combined with your story seem staged. It casts doubt on if this second case of yours even exists at all.
Here we go, time to strike while the iron is hot. Quite frankly, I don't think it does, Your Honor. I think it's clear Aiden Gambit made the entire story up. His entire testimony was nothing but one big lie. Really, Red Torn? You think I'd just lie like that? Your story is too fabricated. It's completely absurd. Yeah, I get it. I can see why you guys would think it's a bit crazy. I'll admit, looking from the outside, it does seem kind of unbelievable. But sometimes things like this just happen, you know? Are you honestly telling me you have no crazy stories as a lawyer yourself? Crap, he's pulling the you've got weird demon powers card because sometimes crazy coincidences happen. Life can be weird. Doesn't mean I'm trying to pull a fast one. All this stuff really did happen. And why don't you provide proof to what you actually happened? Well, client counsel confidentiality for one. I've already screwed that up by mixing up the letters. I'm trying to be careful here. And second, because that's not really my job here, is it?
What exactly do you mean?
I'm the one making accusations. The burden of proof isn't on me. It's not up to me to prove my innocence. It's up to you to prove I'm lying. You can't prove a negative. Like, you can't prove that there's no cases. You have to say, okay, here's the paperwork for the case that I'm on, you know. Some official documents to say that I signed this guy as my lawyer. You wouldn't even have to say anything about the case. You just need something official. You can't do that, can you? Because deep down is one truth you can't overturn.
And what would that truth be?
I have no reason to lie. See, Red Horn over there is claiming I made up my entire story and I did this all on purpose. That is the worst possible thing you said, because I literally know exactly why you lied. And all this lying in this game is to accomplish what exactly? Why would I mix up the blackmail letters on purpose? What would I have to gain from it? Why would I put my case and my client on the line to do something like that? One idea I had was that this blackmail letter is forged evidence. It will explain why you would hide the existence of the other letter from the court. Yeah, Steele was worried someone would make that claim. He thought you wouldn't believe him about being blackmailed. Dude's paranoid beyond belief. See, here's the thing you don't seem to take into account. Why would I forge that letter when a perfectly good letter already existed? I already had proof Steele was being blackmailed. I didn't need to forge anything. I mean, this one doesn't mention the spirit of seething, right? Touche. I'm gonna cut the suspense. This letter's a genuine article. No forgery needed. Someone's being blackmailed with this thing for real, but it's not my place to say who. The only explanation I had for why I had it is because my story is true. I'm not lying to you. There's no reason to suspect I've done anything shady. Now then, Redhorn, don't you think this has gone on for long enough? His demeanor completely changed. Let's just end this a little charade, why don't we? You know you have nothing. Why suspect me of wrongdoing? My hands are clean.
It's the second time you said that. I'm starting to get real suspicious of you now. I still have my doubts about the legitimacy of Mr. Gambit's story. Despite this fact, it's true there seems to be no reason for him to lie to this court because, you know, I'm an idiot. I need someone to guide me through this, so Apollo, can you spit out your theory already? Jesus Christ. These series of crazy coincidences may be difficult to swallow, but without proof of that he is doing anything wrong, I'm forced to accept they are just that. God, the phrasing was weird. Does the defense have anything further to add to the discussion?
Despite all the holes I've poked in his testimony, Gambit is still slippery to catch. His story may be hard to buy, but that's not the same as impossible. What I need now is definitive proof of what exactly he was up to. Why did Aiden Gambit mix up the letters? What exactly was his end goal? Hold on. Yes, end goal, that's the key phrase. Why did he tank his reputation and his credibility on purpose? There's only be one reason. There'd only be the one thing, the one moment in time that was absolutely worth it. Mr. Gambit, you claim you've no reason to lie because you've done nothing wrong. I'd like you to add that statement to your testimony. Well, no, that's interesting. Alright, Redhorn, I'll play along. Enough playing around. I've given him this chance to explain himself. Time to take the kid gloves off and show what he was really up to. Here comes justice! Why do I need to lie to you? It's not like I've done anything shady at all. Your story is too difficult to believe. I've already pointed out the problems of what you claim. Come on, Redhorn, let's take a hint. You've done a lot of grasping at straws to try and poke holes in my story. But, as I said, you've yet to point out a reason why I'd make up such an elaborate lie. Face it, you've got nothing on me. There's no reason for you to swap the letters on purpose. Is it really so unbelievable that I really did just mess up so badly? When there's no reasonable way for you to make such a mistake, yes. Hey, I've already explained myself. You can choose to believe it or not. But unless you have evidence showing I had any other intentions, it doesn't really matter what you believe. Oh, I've got a nice little smug condescending smirks right now. Evidence to show Gambit's true intentions? Am I really ready to show what he's trying to do that day? Blah blah blah. I'm gonna ask the jury anyway. I'll probably say that one, the remote, right? I don't think it can be anything else. But we're gonna follow Joy anyway. Aiden is right. He has no reason to lie about this. He has to be telling the truth. That's the only way that makes sense. Yeah, it's hard for me to think of a reason why he'd lie about his motivations. I guess I'm a third-rate investigator now. Sharing this with his head's image. Why would he do that if it's not the truth? Oh, I must concur. Allow me to play the devil's advocate, if you will. Play the devil's what now? But we're not summoning demons, are we? He means arguing from the other side for the sake of debate, dingbat. Why are those two seated next to each other again? No, obviously on the outside it seems like Mr. Gambit has no reason to lie. But if he was hiding something even more scandalous, perhaps the need to keep that a secret would justify the damage done to his reputation by this lie. Something even worse than this? Like what exactly? Oh no, I haven't the foggiest idea. It was just a suggestion. As I said, I've been given no reason to distrust Mr. Gambit. As well, you shouldn't. Everything he said is true. Paying his reputation the same as trying to spot something else? Are you ready to present the remote? Is it going to be the remote even? I think it will be. You claim to have done nothing, Shirley. Please. We both know it's a blatant lie. Oh please, don't give me that bowl. If you're going to start accusing me of something, you better start presenting evidence. I don't really need to present anything at all, Mr. Gambit. Oh? After all, you've already done that for me.
What do you mean, Mr. Justice? How has the witness already presented evidence for you?
It's exactly what I've said, Your Honor. Aiden Gambit already gave us the evidence of his wrongdoings during the larceny trial.
I'm afraid I don't follow. You see, I wasn't at that trial. Please elaborate, Mr. Justice.
If Aiden Gambit is lying about his reasons for swapping the letters, we have to ask, why exactly would he swap out the letters to begin with? What's the purpose of causing all this deception and confusion? What would he have to gain by making himself seem like an utter fool? First of all, it seems like the first typo in a while. We had like a string of them in a row, but then we were getting a bit better. But you've let it down again. And then secondly, you foolishly foolish fool. Unless, of course, telling the truth would mean confessing to something much worse.
Much worse.
All of his decisions can be traced back to one moment during the trial. One moment that explains what his true motivation has been all along. I caught this ages ago as well, by the way. I've said that multiple times. I know I probably seem, big for my boots. But I'm proud of myself. Ladies and gentlemen of court, it's time for the moment of truth. It's time to prove what really happened on that day.
Nothing happened. Oh, how wrong I'm going to turn out to be.
Stop. Did you catch it? Let's see it again. One more time. Blah blah blah, moment of truth. Right there, that's when it happened. Gambit claimed he wanted to test his theory about the motorized pulley. He put on quite a show in front of the court to make it himself look like a fool. A show he's still putting on to hide his dark intentions. When he pressed that button, need I remind you what the remote was connected to?
You can't be suggesting.
Gambit, you intentionally obfuscated evidence from the court. You swapped the blackmail that leads off the trail. You pressed the button on the remote that ended Corey Rupture's life. There's only one reason you will do any of this. Because you were the one who broke into Mr. Edgeworth's office and planted the remote. You were the one who planted the files in Manny Steele's office to frame him for larceny. And you were the one who set up the trap in the vents above the crime scene. It was all you. Aiden Gambit, I hereby indict you for the murder of Corey Rupture. Took you long enough, dude.
Order in the court. Damn, that took you long enough, didn't it, Justice? Mr. Justice, this is unbelievable. Are you really accusing Aiden Gambit, a fellow attorney, of murder?
Your Honor, I literally accused a fellow attorney and my boss of murder in my very first trial.
I mean, that was really more Phoenix who was doing the accusing there, but I guess you were technically the one.
Oh, okay. No one pulls my strings, Your Honor. It's all me. I am Your Honor. When he pressed the button during the larceny trial, that was the moment Corey Rupture died. Actually, I first began to suspect that Mr. Gambit might be the killer. When I was told during recess about the events that happened during the larceny trial. The moment of Aiden Gambit pushing the button on the remote stuck out in my mind. I could hardly believe it at first. It seemed too unreal. But there was no denying it. There was a confirmed moment during the trial when the remote was used. Not to mention the person confirmed to have used it. Not a bad idea, Redhorn. I gotta admit you had me speechless for a second there. The sheer audacity to accuse me, I hardly have to respect it. But you know, you're in a dance, it's not gonna be that easy. What are you talking about? I'm talking about holes in your accusation. Things that don't make sense. See, you want to say I set up this elaborate trap to, what, create an alibi? A lawyer's ultimate alibi. I was in a trial at the time. I can get behind that. What I can't get behind is doing that with basically hang Steele out to dry. If I pressed that button knowing that it was connected to the other pulley, then why would I put the entire case in line to do so? Why do I need to make a big show of it? I could have just pressed it into the desk. Why go through the effort of destroying my entire case just to do so? Because you also wanted to get revenge on Manny Steele.
Mr. Gambit makes an excellent point. With the remote in hand, he could have killed Corey Rupture at any point during the trial. Why would he wait to present it as evidence before doing so?
Like a big shot of using the remote? Think, Apollo. If killing Corey Rupture was his only motive, he could have done so at any point during the trial. And yet, he waited until he could present it as evidence to do so. There must be a reason. Your Honor, there is a simple reason why Mr. Gambit used the remote in the way he did. To be dramatic. I'm just gonna say, I know it's this one, but just to be funny. I think it's clear Aiden Gambit has a flair for the dramatic. Took you this long to figure that out, huh? His dramatic nature, which is why he waited for the perfect moment to strike! He wants to make Corey Rupture's death as dramatic as possible. You're joking, right? Please tell me you're joking. Redhorn, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Like, for real. I waited to kill him to be dramatic. Do you even realise how you saw him right now? Who would even know about how dramatic Corey's death was? Just me? What's the point? I'm not just going to be dramatic for the sake of it.
And even if that were true, it's not exactly a compelling argument either way.
Yeah, now I think about it, I don't know why I said that.
Will you mull over it? Please accept one of my dramatic penalties.
Maybe I'm the one who needs to stop being dramatic.
My patience grows thin, Mr. Justice. I need an answer. You want to claim I'm government since there was evidence skill with him, but...
Ingan wanted to make sure he had an alibi for the time of the crime. Presenting the remote as evidence, he could ensure nobody would suspect him. I only need to point this out, but there's a whole new theory, Mr. Justice. It goes without saying, but simply attending the trial would be enough of an alibi. As a matter of fact, this arguable use in the remote in this manner would hurt its alibi. After all, it drew more attention to the action that supposedly killed Cory Rupture. And his goal was simply to create an alibi. Why not use the remote in a less conspicuous way? Oh, that's a good point.
We must conclude the search with makes very little sense. We penalised for this hour of judgment.
There must be another explanation. There's only one aspect of this last new trial that's been bothering me for a long while. It's something everyone and I discussed during yesterday's investigation. Just when things started to seem like they were going his way, he decided to bet his entire case on one single piece of evidence. So I figured that decision didn't go so well. He crashed and burned right at the last minute. Everyone's so adamant about the fact that he needed only one piece of evidence. The kid might have stood a chance. It just seems so odd to me that he would risk his entire case on one move. That is, of course, unless his plan from the beginning was never to win the case.
You mean Ingan wouldn't need the intention of throwing the trial?
That's correct, Your Honor. It's likely he always had Steele planned as a fall guy for the larceny. Making it seem he exhausted every possibility and still failed to prove his innocence. He could ensure Winston Payne got the win he deserved. He would end up ensuring Steele would be found guilty without a chance of repeal. Steele would be unable to claim ineffective assistance of counsel if it seemed like Mr. Gambit did his best to defend him. With Steele convicted, nobody would suspect the larceny and the murder were connected. By murdering Roger and convicting Steele at the same time, he killed two birds with one stone.
Unbelievable. A plan to destroy the lives of two people at once.
Unfortunately for him, Cory's body was found by the defendant Hercule Erie. Because of this, the trial was put on hold before Steele's verdict was declared. By sheer happenstance, his plan to destroy Steele's life was also put on hold. If not for the defendant stumbling onto the scene, the truth may have been lost forever. So you see, the entire case was set up to lure Manny Steele and Cory to their dooms. You know, Redhorn, this isn't funny anymore. I've been sitting here watching you slander my good name for too long, I think. Luckily, I know just how to shut down this crap coming from your blowhole. What? Blowhole? I'm Minorca, you know. What's he planning now? As assumed, for the sake of the argument, I did set all this up to take Steele and Rupture down. Why go through all the effort to do that? What did they ever do to me? He described me setting all this up like I've been planning some grand revenge scheme. But I have no beef with either of them. I'm just a simple defense attorney. Not to mention, you've yet to say what all of this has to do with me swapping out the letters. I asked why I'd do that, and you suddenly accused me of murder out of nowhere. Indeed, your accusation against Mr. Gambit would have to relate in some way to his decision to swap out the blackmail letters. Do you have any evidence that could answer all of these questions? Gambit's motive for wanting to take revenge on Steele and Rupture, as well as his decision to swap out the blackmail letters during the trial. There could be only one reason why he would do any of this, and why that was given to me.
Time's up, Mr. Justice. Let's hear your answer.
Next time! Because we're just about out of time. Oh, no, when I record the next episode, I bet I'll be a little confused as well, but we will give an answer next time. I honestly don't know, maybe probably just the file. Because, I mean, if you look at the blackmail letters, this one says spirit seething, this one says keep my body safe, you know, he's pretending that it was Steele who got the injury, Cory Rupture was the one who got the injury, so yeah. See you next time. That's it for today.